Can we get like a little taste of some accent love from Ruben somehow?
It usually comes out of me naturally with some time and a couple of drinks, something. All of the
Yeah.
accents just come spewing out at the same time.
Is having a foreign accent bad? Wow. How many times do you get asked this question, brother?
All the time.
All the time. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like every time I post something about this, someone comes out and is just like, well, it's not a bad thing to have, to have an accent. And actually, and we always have to kind of defend ourselves. So this is our public statement, right?
A hot topic.
Yeah, I don't think that it's not necessarily that we are not preaching that we want you to get rid of your accent. Rather, we want you to have the ability to imitate several types of accents. If you speak with a foreign accent and your accent is like this, and you're from Argentina, but you want to speak in English and you don't want to sound like this, that's okay. You can keep that. We want to hold on to that, cherish that. Not everyone can, speak with an accent like that. But then we want you to also be able to have an accent like this, like you and I, speaking in native English.
No one's trying to say who's better or worse or what sounds better or worse, but there is an objective getting closer to something phonetically speaking. And of course, an accent in general is not bad at all. Accents are awesome. We do accents, we imitate accents all the time. And yeah, acquiring a new accent or accent addition instead of reduction, I guess, could be a way to think of it. The one thing that I think that's something to battle with is just the overall impression, and maybe some kind of, if we can talk about the negative things that there may exist, is kind of not on you as a speaker, but maybe on the listener. And that like stigma around, well, what does an accent mean for this person, right? What do you interpret if someone has a strong accent? That they don't speak the language, probably? That they don't have a skill, like high enough grammar or vocab to hang? That they maybe are newer to the country or to the region? Of course, we know that's not necessarily true. So what do you do with that?
Now, a lot of people are just like, look, as long as I can communicate, and I know all the words that you're saying, and I can communicate all the words, whether I have an accent or not is not important. This is the argument that we'll see sometimes, when people maybe get, a little defensive.
Well, we could, I guess, look at this from both sides. This could be objective with this and start with the answer that we normally would probably give, which is there's a form to this process, man. Just like any motor function where you're like exercising, right? Or playing an instrument. It's like, there's a best way according to the best performers. There's a more efficient way. And when it comes to music and exercise, you also have like social pressures. You can't be at the gym doing weird curls and weird movements, like just working out like this. And we're like, what muscle is that?
Yeah.
There's a process that's expected and a delivery in this case that's expected for communication and for all that other stuff. Like, where specifically are you from and what type of wording are you using? Are you cool or not cool? Are you extroverted or funny or not? And that personality kind of comes out in the form. But if you're borrowing sounds and features from your native language, it's not that it's not right or understandable, but it comes with this form that's a system from a different place. And so we're just like, oh, Spanish? Oh, I speak a little bit of Spanish. And then they're like, oh no, I'm here to speak English. And then it's a big problem.
Yeah. I mean, I'll often get responses like, and I truly believe in this, that, someone who has a foreign accent can often be perceived as attractive, a little bit more attractive, or a little bit more interesting. You could walk into a room and all are native speakers except for yourself. You're going to stand out and people are going to be, where are you from? And tell me more. And, and like this can be wholeheartedly used to your advantage when it comes to just a social setting and interactions, et cetera. And I think that's great. And I think consider yourself, I consider this to be kind of not like necessarily a blessing, but just like you have that down. Let's learn some more. Let's put on some different hats, because when it comes to the shock value, if you can come in with a foreign accent and then switch on somebody, the reaction that you get, the change of pace in the conversation and the direction of the conversation, people are like, whoa, what is beautiful. So don't get rid of your foreign accent. Rather, just add a new, maybe more native sounding accent to be able to enjoy life a little bit more.
So we have, for the positive things about it, about having an accent is, you could sound sexy or funny or cool and give off an impression. The negative things is there is a form, a set kind of pacing, a set delivery that is expected. So you can do either way, but it does create an identity, and you can have more than one. You don't have to just have the one. Just kind of play around with it, as we like to do, and learn from the other accents too. Maybe when you hear foreign accents, you kind of listen, you perceive those accents as whatever, but you don't realize that they're like fossilized examples of that language. And if you're learning Spanish and you hear a Spanish accent, what do you want to do? You're like, to do, I can do it, to do. I can imitate that when I'm speaking their language. And if you recognize that as a Spanish accent, it just means it's true. It's just what happens.
We preach that you learn the foreign accent, maybe, let's say you're a native English speaker and you want to learn Spanish. We think that it's a good thing to be able to learn the non-native English accent so that you can understand actually where they're coming from and how they are sounding things out based off of their native, vowels, consonants, prosody, intonation, etc. Just for a better understanding overall of the language. So learn all the accents. That's the moral of the story.
I like that. So accents aren't bad. Accents are great. They're a skill. They're a tool. They're powerful. We use this power to make connections and to probably, deceive some people here and there.
So if indeed you are trying to achieve a native Spanish accent or a native English accent, you know who to call. Ruben and I, English-speaking hacks and Spanish-speaking hacks. Can we get like a little taste of some accent love from Ruben somehow? I know you got a bunch sitting there just waiting.
Accents. Well, it's usually comes out of me naturally with some time and a couple of drinks. Something. All of the accents just come spewing out at the same time. Really. But you have to just throw them at me to challenge me. Yeah.
All right. Well, there you have it, guys. We are Dustin and Ruben, Spanish-speaking hacks, English-speaking hacks. Check out our website, and we will see you guys on the other side.